Well, Mr. Officer, please, we are access, sir. Take it easy. Lord of God, yeah. Music make we happier. Do not bother lock it off. Yeah, we need. You know what I mean? Hi, what's up, guys? This is Olaf Blackwood, singer-songwriter, born and raised in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. Olaf Blackwood is a singer-songwriter, and I write with a lot of different people. And the term "write for," it's kind of tricky, because even if you just say, "Hey, let's write a song about, I don't know, iPhones," that in and of itself is a contribution to the song. So even if I were to sit there and pen the entire song, your contribution is still just as important, because without that, light bulb moment, the song itself wouldn't exist. But as far as like people I've worked with, I've worked with people like, obviously Shaggy, Bounty Killer, Beenie Man, Maxi Priest, Spice. I wrote on Spice's Grammy-nominated album. I wrote on seven songs on that one. I was also featured in one of the songs as well with her. I worked with people like Joss Stone, Akon, Tessanchin, Maya, Rose McGowan, Lindsay Sterling, Armin van Buren, Herbie Critch. I mean, there's a lot of people, the Red One, lots of people.
Your single Selecta Pull It, a collaboration with Shaggy, is topping charts worldwide.
Yeah.
Tell us about that collaboration.
That song was written in San Francisco, probably about, like a couple years ago, while working on my reggae album, which Shaggy produced. And at that point, we had about 13 or 14 songs, all along the lines of like the lovers rock, like feel good reggae. But then he's listening and he's like, man, we need something that kind of brings us back to the roots where a lot of this started for a lot of artists, which is in the dancehall, with the sound system and all of that. So this is how we ended up writing that song. So he came up with the idea and then we just wrote it and knocked it out.
All right, so tell us exactly what the song is about.
Well, the song is about what it's like to be in a dance. At that time, what an actual dance is like, when I dance with a woman. And it had nothing to do, the emphasis wasn't being placed on outfits, bottles, table, crew, Instagram, social. It wasn't about that. It was about literally living in the moment and having fun. And whatever you had on that was clean and good enough for you to go out is what you'd wear. And the songs would play from the start to the end. It wasn't, it's trying to, seize little moments of a hit record and then move on to the next. As far as like the audience, you're doing it for the world, right? When you put something out, everybody's gonna get it. But the idea behind it is just to kind of remind people a bit of like where this whole thing started, like Genesis, because I feel like a lot of the identity is just kind of, getting warped with all the different sounds of music coming in and the influence. I feel like it's almost like a dying art, and I just hope that people can actually appreciate what it was like then, where we're at now, and to be able to remember, where we started and cherish it and respect those who started it.
Do you think dancehall culture is dying?
What constitutes dying? I mean, if we're looking at, we live in a instant gratification world where everything is like, meme-worthy and, viral and that kind of stuff. So a lot of people is like talking about dancehall, but as far as like personally, the numbers, you know what I mean? Where are the Bounty Killers of today? The Shabaranks of today, the Beenie Man of today. And those are just like, what, 3-4 names already? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking at. It's like, what's the impact? A lot of people are doing a lot of stuff, but where's the impact? Where's like the shifting stuff other than the common regurgitating the same nonsense that we see as far as like where violence and a lot of stuff is going on? Like where's like, where's the talk? Where's it? I don't really see a lot of that.
How do you manage to stay relevant in all of what's going on with the AI world and all of that?
Well, for me, I just stay true to me and what I'm doing, and it's not so much about keeping up with the Joneses and trying to be on the talk of everything that's going on. It's just like really staying true to who I am as an artist and making music that are very honest, and and I'm learning. I'm constantly learning. So I just just be myself. As I'd like to say, run my own race. Wish everybody well, but I'm also not competing with anybody else. So I really care zero about who or what's happening.
What other projects are you working on and potential release dates?
Potential release date, that I'm not sure, because we just released Selecta Pull It, and that's one of the songs from the reggae album, the body of work that Shaggy produced. We also worked on Maya's, did some stuff with Maya as well. some stuff with Akon. So as far as like releases, we're not really sure when yet. We're just kind of watching to kind of see where, where things go.
For a country youth that's putting in big work internationally, what does this mean for you?
It means a lot. It's just also, reiterating and reminding people of the phrase "Liko botu talawa," and I'm happy that you asked that question because it leads me to, to tell you why I even thought about doing like a soulful reggae album is because it's my identity. That's where I started. I started on the sound systems. When you do pop music and people like, oh, they think that you're just like an American, kid, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as a Jamaican youth, my identity is key. So this is where I started. People need to be reminded to look at me from here, from my home, and then everything else I do is just brata, as we call it. So it means a lot to be able to work with a lot of like international artists and grace a lot of like international stage and stadiums and stuff like that. That's amazing. Look at youth from a small. Every time I go back, I'm just like humbly reminded about like where I'm coming from. I never forget where I'm coming from. That's why my publishing company is Holland Bamboo Music Publishing.
Oh.
So it's like when people ask where is that? Well, let me tell you where that is. You know what I mean?
How do you identify your musical style, being that you're merging different genres?
It's hard because I don't think there's any box I could ever put it in, so to speak, because it just varies, I look at music like clothing and food. I go wear the same thing every day, and I should be able to feel confident and comfortable in whatever, and I'm able to do it. For me personally.
What is your advice to some of the young artists who are trying to break out on the scene? And how do you feel about this set of artists now?
To me, it's an art form. And even if I don't necessarily make a playlist of all the songs that are out there and drive around and listen to them or clean my house and listen to them, I still respect every artist and I respect the art form as an expression. And, there are people who like your style of music, and that's cool. And I love a lot of the stuff that I hear right now. And I'm wondering, why am I even liking this? Because the vibe is cool. So I love everything I'm hearing. All I've been stressing is stop limit yourself. Maybe DJ or one song on a crazy out rhythm, say something different. Somebody come to you with a different idea or concept. As long as it not compromise your morals or your values or whatever, just try it, listen. Especially when you work like a Dean Fraser and him say, yo, try this, or you flat this, or listen to him. Don't try style him because you're Mr. Stylist now. And as far as like advice, pretty much the same, just stay working. Always all right. Okay, what kind of headspace you're in? Pen and paper is always with you, is always free. And we have phone now, so we don't have an excuse. So stay writing, stay true to what you do. And really not make nobody tell you what you can and can't do as an artist. But that's kind of it's almost like a double-edged sword, because sometimes you have to listen. You have to know when it's criticism or when it's hate or when it's just people just, wanting the best for you. So just stay true to yourself and keep writing.